Hi everyone. Sorry, I was having a little trouble getting on. My screen was locked and I couldn't get it to turn. It's turned now, so hopefully it'll be fine. Hope you guys are all doing really good today. I'm just gonna go on, make sure I can get you guys on. There I am. I found a new setting too, but the color is so much better. So just go in here. Okay. Hi Keiko, how are you doing? Oh, now I have feedback on this. Let's turn that down. Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Hi Mary. Oh, it's hot all of a sudden. Yeah. So I'll just talk for a couple minutes to get a few more people on. Do I have a little gimbal here? I do. Yeah, I've been busy, very, very busy, very, very busy. But I was so happy that I got these kits done. I will be, they're almost sold out. So these 3 new kits that I put out, they're almost sold out. I will not be restocking until after Wednesday, because I want to get all these orders out before some medical things have to happen. So I want to get all these out and then I will be restocking. So once these ones are gone, then I'm not going to be putting them up again for probably until Friday of next week. So they won't go out in this order. But I really am so happy with them. I just love them. The little angels turned out so cute. And these are the ones we're doing today. We're doing all the angels, and I'll show you how you can use them with the stand or hanging on your tree. And I completed both sides so that they look nice no matter what. Even this stands are stamped, so they look so cute. And then I did the gingers, which I love the gingers. I do love gingers. So this is the ginger girl. And so I wanted to tell you, so like here it says Santa's favorite cookies. And then here is the gingerbread. Now these are done using 2 stencils that I got from Cupboard Distributing. I will be putting the link up in the pattern, but I am also going to stencil them on a piece of paper, like stencil them right on a sheet of paper so that you have the exact size, the exact script and everything. And that way you can use your own, you can trace them on with your paper, and then you can just use either a paintbrush and whatever to do it yourself if you don't have the stencils. But I will put the link for the stencils up too. These are ones I just love these stencils. I do use them a lot. Don't judge though. I'm going to show you them. Don't judge. I just haven't had time to clean them. So it's this one. Yes, I know it's a mess, but you see where it says Santa's favorite. So this is, I will actually put this up for you so you can copy it if you like. And this is the gingerbread that I used down this side of his leg. So I'm actually going to stencil that right on paper so that you can copy it if you want. Don't tell Chris. Hopefully I'm allowed to do that. So yeah, so this is the gingerbread here along the leg, and then the Santa's favorite cookies on here. Okay. And yeah, oh yeah, see the cookies is on this one too. So, and then the 2 ornaments. Come here, you. So this is the stocking, this is the mitten, and again, the mitten, I did redesign the cuff, so it looks more like this cuff. I thought this one was a better cuff, so yeah. So everybody's will come with a nice new cuff on it. Again, once these are gone, I'm not going to be restocking them for about a week. Oops, let's just put that over there. I have already started packing the kits. Everything should go out by Wednesday. I had to give Deb another big order because I sold way more than I thought I was going to, which I should know better because I always do, but oh well. I just want to put those up there too. I have written up the pattern. It's almost completely finished. I'm so proud of myself. I was whipping that up this morning. I just didn't have quite enough time to finish it. Whoops. Hey Deanna, how are you? Hi Virginia. Hi Dorinda. I know, it's so good to see everybody. I can't tell you how much I miss this. Hoping next week I'm going to be doing the gingerbread next week, and I want to try and come on half an hour early for our little talkie time on Zoom. So I'm going to try and set that up too. I just kind of see how everything is next week and which day I'm going to do it. But I thought we haven't had a talkie time in so long, so I thought it would be nice to do. Hi, Darlene. So anyway, I was just going to tell you, so the pattern is, and I'll put it up shortly after the class today. I just want to finish it up. I did base coat all of these already, and I'm going to tell you what I base coat and what I've done with each one before as we're doing them, just so that you know, and the substitutes that you can use, because I used all Folk Art chalk paint to paint to base coat the dresses with. So, but I'll give you your substitutes so that you can use them. I think I'm going to switch this around now. I changed the setting on this a bit, so I'm hoping that this will work okay. We'll see, said the blind man. We'll see. I just want to get a little bit of paper towel. Oh, there you are. I think I can come up a bit. Oh, I pulled the whole thing out. I could tighten that, and then I probably wouldn't do that. Let me just tighten this up. Okay. I'm gonna get some paper towel out. Okay. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Turn on this light here. Okay. Whoops. So let's see what we got here. I think I can bring this down a little bit. So we've got the four. So as you can see, I've base coated them. I also did all the backs because I really like them to look finished. Okay. I used different colors as the kind of decoration on the dresses. I used the scroll stamp from the Grunge stamp collection from Stampendous. I did get a bunch more, so hopefully everybody who ordered one on the side, I can get them for you. If you don't have this one, really just use any nice, stamp or stencil you think would look really good as on the background of these dresses. I would make it, this is a very delicate, as you can see, a very delicate kind of pattern, and that's, I would use it more of a delicate pattern. I wouldn't use anything too heavy with this. So anyway, these are the inks that I use. So I use the frayed burlap, the antique linen, the walnut stain, the vintage photo in the oxide and in the ink. and that's what I used for all of these. I base coated it once, lightly sanded everything, and then base coated them again. As you can see, I've got the faces done. They're just in light buttermilk, and then the wings are rusted, using the rusting technique along with a lot of the little embellishments. So let's just start. We're going to start with the green one. Hopefully I can get them all done today. Okay, so we're going to start with the green one. It's our little angel right here. So what I did was, okay, I have to think because now my mind's all fuddle-mucked. I think actually before we start, I'm going to just do all the faces. That way they're all done because they're all the exact same, right? So I'm just going to take the 4 of these. Now they're all base coated in light buttermilk. So I wanted to do the cheeks on them. I like to do the cheeks, as you know, in dried clay with a little bit of Heritage Brick. Please use whichever cheek color you like, that is your favorite. Everybody is different. Some people don't like these colors. I do. So yeah, just use your favorite one. I have to use this. I think did I leave all my brushes? I washed all my brushes last night, and I actually think I left them upstairs. Even though I said to myself, whatever you do, don't leave your brushes upstairs. I think I did. I think I'm just going to run up and get them because I like the ones that I used. Hold on a sec, ladies. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I don't even know how my mind is working these days, to be very honest with you. My mind's just a little crazy right now. I'm just going to take a little brush, and I'm going to do the cheeks first. So I'm going to use dried clay, my go-to cheek color. So I'm just going to do each one in the dried clay. And again, I base coated everything and sanded. Oops, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Yeah, I base coated each one, and then I gave it a light sanding. And I always like to use 320 grit or higher for that sanding, because really all I wanted to do is just kind of really just take that little bit of roughness away. So yeah, so I give it a little light coat sanding, and then I put another coat on, and again we'll sand it again after that, just because I like to work with a really nice smooth surface. Mary's having trouble with her internet. I did, so the stands you'll see all match the backs, just so they look really good. Aren't they cute like that? Don't they look good like that? See? So they all match, every single one. That was one thing I did not get to yesterday, was the stands. I was getting the stands base coated. I'm just going to do all 4 of these. Once the faces are done, and again, I just use light buttermilk. Some people have their favorite color that they like to do faces with. Just, it doesn't matter. You can use, your favorite color. This is just the color that I happen to use for this one. I tell you, is there such thing as fall allergies? I tell you, I have been having a heck of a time with some kind of allergy or something. It's driving me a little bit crazy. Oh, and guess what I discovered? It is so sad. It's so sad. I cannot eat chocolate covered raisins anymore. They're my absolute favorite little go-to treat, but I'm having trouble with them. So I don't think I'm going to be able to eat them anymore. And I just absolutely love them, ladies. Okay, so these are all done. Now, if I wanted to darken these up, I could do it by adding a little bit more of the dried clay and, doing it again, or adding just a little touch of Heritage Brick around the edges. But you know what? I think those are going to be dark enough, so I'm fine with it. Oh, drop my gator here. Now I just want to go around these heads. I'm just going to do it lightly. I don't want to have them sanded away too much. I think I better do this. I can actually bring this a little bit more. All right. There, oh, that lighting is way better now. There, so you can see I just wanted to do it lightly. I'm just going to get any dust away that might be on here. Shake that off here. Oh. Okay, so now we have them all forward and back again. Make sure I'm on screen good. Yeah, okay. So now I just want to do just a really light distressing around the edges. I think I'm going to use walnut stain around the edges just to distress it a little bit of color in there. If you don't have walnut stain, I mean, most of you know what you like to distress with, so I would go ahead and do it. Around the faces, I don't like to do it too dark, so just kind of, watch it. If you're using, one of the DecoArt or whatever acrylics, just go quite lightly around it. You can use, and if you're using one of your oxides, you can use Vintage Photo, or just don't want it too dark. Okay. I moved my brushes over here because I thought they would be better over here. So let's see, with my right hand. A little brush. There's a little brush. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the walnut stain. I'm going to just lightly go around. That's a little bit too much. And I just really want to go around the edge. I don't want to bring it into the hair at all, or into these little holes too much. So just again, just a little bit. Oh, sounds like somebody's blowing out their irrigation here. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the eyes, and then they'll all dry while I'm working on one of the angels. I just did dots for eyes this time. And I don't like my eyes too big. I'd rather start out a little bit smaller. And I can make them bigger if I want. Might make his cheeks or her cheeks. No. Do you think angels have genders, or if they're all, whoops, all one gender? Okay. So these are I'm just gonna dry these a bit so I can put the whites in their eyes. Is it one of your favorites too, Darlene? Chocolate covered raisins. How can you get any better than that? I tell you, you have a fruit, you have chocolate. I mean, it's like partly, I keep telling myself it's partly healthy. Not, but it makes me feel better convincing myself that it is. I found a special setting on live that it's my father-in-law. Did he hang up? Okay. I shouldn't say, oh no, it's my father-in-law. I'm not sure why he's phoning. He's been having a lot of health issues, and he's been in the hospital in and out the last 3 days, every day. He's home now, and I'm not sure why he's phoning this morning. I'll find out when I get finished the class. I'll give him a phone call. So I just want to put a little bit of white, because I don't like just black soulless eyes. My sister actually does, which I'm probably gonna have to ask her why. I'm surprised she isn't actually here. She's at home painting, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna dry these off because I don't want them to smudge while they're waiting for me to do things. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we might as well just do all the little things that all of them have in common. So right now, we're gonna do the wings and then all these little rusty pieces. Just get them all done. So you can see I've already base coated all of them black. And I've even all these little pieces here are all, I just throw one on the floor. Yep, are all black. So they're all ready for the rusting. Now let's pounce a little bit on, and I want to use a smaller brush. Oh man, I have 3 million brushes here. Which one will I use? I don't really want to use that one. Who knew picking brushes was such a big thing? I'll use this one. Okay, so I'm going to use one of Chris's diverse brushes. Pick up a little bit of burnt umber. And then I'm just going to kind of tap some on. And I'm going to do that with each wing. And I'm going to do the front and the back of them. And then all these little pieces here, I'm rusting too. So I'm just going to take my brush and dab on some burnt umber. I have this double-sided sticky tape. I think I'm gonna put down. I know, I always say to you guys, use double-sided sticky tape, and I never do. But today, I'm going to. My hands have been taking a kicking lately. Seems I wash them 100 times a day. So let's just put all these on here. Okay. That up. So this is the burnt umber. I'm just going to pounce a little bit of burnt umber on it. I want to thank everybody again for all your support, and you're all just being so wonderful. I really appreciate it. Oh, I actually did though. I had some kits and special requests like over a week ago. A couple weeks ago. So I actually did send all of those out beginning of last week. So you should actually be receiving them soon. I have not invoiced the people for them yet. I will be invoicing them. I'm just going to add it to the invoices for the ones that I'll be sending out next week. So some of you will get a couple of shipping invoices on the one invoice that I send, but they'll be itemized so that you can see. So I'm just doing the back side again, and I'm doing it in burnt umber. If I ever find when you do it, you go, oh, there's too much orange, or there's too much brown, or whatever, you just have to go and pick up some of black, or, you know, whatever, to just even it out. You just add to it. Okay, so I'm going to just use this same dirty brush. I might just take a little bit of this off. Pick up a little bit of raw sienna. My paints organized here. Won't that be a miracle, says Debbie. Okay, so this is raw sienna. And now I'm going to just tap a little bit of it on. Some people like more of an orange, and that's fine. You can use maybe burnt orange or something on it. I like the little bit more subtle with the raw sienna. I don't really like a big, you know, orange glow to the rusty ones. Now I'm going to do the same thing on these little pieces. And after you've done them all, you can look back and go, oh, this needs a little bit more, you know, of the raw sienna. This one needs a little, need to add a bit of black to this or whatever. I will often add just a little bit more of the raw sienna, just to give it a little bit more color, usually along the edges. I'm just going to turn these over and do the back with the raw sienna. And again, you can't go wrong with this rusting, because you can always correct it just by pouncing on a little bit more of one of the colors. Okay. So these ones are done. I do have this one star, so I'm going to do it now. The star I'm using, I'll show you. So this is the yellow one, the Vintage Mustard. This is the size of the star that I am using today, just because I thought I had a mitload of these and I didn't. So Deb is actually cutting out a whole bunch of these larger stars for all your orders. But for today's purposes, I'm just going to use the one that's a little bit smaller because I didn't have any of the bigger ones. So again, this is the Burnt Umber. And then I'm going to add a little bit of raw sienna, and then all the rusting is done. Okay. So these are all done. These ones are all done. The angels, I'm just going to put all of these aside for a minute. And now we're going to work on our little, this is the oatmeal one. So I base coated this one in oatmeal. Hi Val. So I base coated this one in oatmeal. If you don't have oatmeal, you can use soft sage if you have any left. I know it's discontinued, but it is still one of my favorite colors. Or take some celery green and just add a bit of warm white to it to lighten it a little bit. Or you may like the darker green, in which case you can just use straight celery green. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my scroll. Now I used frayed burlap, okay, to stencil this on with. If you don't have frayed burlap, you can use celery green, like if you don't have any of these oxides or inks, just use celery green, or you know, I wouldn't go too dark because it's all done very subtly. I don't know if you can see how subtle the color is, but it's very subtle, the stenciling. So I wouldn't go too dark, and then just press really lightly on here when you do it, because you can always press a little bit harder, but you don't want, so it's going to be about like that. And then I'm just going to continue all over. I'm sorry, I did not do the stands, but ladies, you will do the stands the exact same way. So whatever piece you've base coat, whatever color you've base coated in, you'll base coat the stands. I also stenciled on the stands, just because then I just like that it blended more, that's all. I'm just going to dry this off. Now, if when you do it, you go, oh, I think I pressed too hard, or there's too much color, and when you're stenciling, whatever, you can just take
your sanding paper, your really fine grit, and just very lightly sand over it, and that'll just sort of take a little bit of it off or soften it. Or you can even go completely different. Get a baby wipe, and you can wipe the whole thing off. Like this will come right off if I use a baby wipe on it right now. And then you can just do it again. Which ink is that? This one is the Distress Ink Frayed Burlap. And I used it to stencil on this one. Okay, so we've done that part. Now I want to just sand around all these edges. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to sneeze again. Maybe it's been doing a lot of sanding and stuff lately. Maybe it's a sanding that's bugging me. I just want to go around these edges. And really, we're going to be sanding all the edges on all of them. I'm not bothering to sand the backs. You can, if you really want these, you know, finished exactly the same. I'm not worried about that. Just gonna get rid of any of the dust. Shake it off. In case you're wondering, I'm not shaking it off on the floor. I have a garbage thing right beside me. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Okay. Now I'm going to go around the edges, and I'm going to use my frayed burlap around the edges. Again, if you don't have frayed burlap, don't worry about it. If you have any of the other oxides, you could use Vintage Photo on this. Or if you've done the green and you don't have any of the oxides or distressing waxes, just you pick up a little bit of celery green or even plantation pine, and just very, very softly go around the edges. I'm just going to softly go around these edges. I like to just do it lightly the first time. And then I can come back and just add to it if I want. I like to come up into their little dresses a bit. And again, if you want, please feel free to do the backs. Or you can just leave them and just give them a little light coat. Okay, so then what I did was I splattered this. So I splattered it using two colors. I used, you can use either warm white, you can use light buttermilk, whichever, you know, color you prefer. I think for this one I'm going to use the warm white because this is actually already a little light. So I'm going to use warm white, and then I'm going to use traditional burnt sienna. If you don't have the traditional burnt sienna, just use burnt sienna. But just before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of color to these wings, and I think I'm going to use my antiquing wax. So this is my Country Chic antiquing wax, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit, just on my finger. And again, just a little bit. I don't want too much, and I don't need it all over. I tell you, once you get this antiquing wax on and it dries, it does not come off. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just making sure I do this in the right order. I'm going to splatter this, and I'm going to use warm white and traditional burnt sienna. I'm just going to make a couple little puddles. And I did remember my water, ladies. I'm actually quite proud of myself. Hi, Mary. How are you doing? So I'm just going to, I like, as you know, using a toothbrush or a denture brush. I'm just going to cover up this little head a bit. And I want a little bit on the wings. Okay. If you want bigger drops, just add a little bit, leave a little bit more water on your brush. So I wanted a couple little ones, so I just added a little bit more water to my brush. I know I'm going to use this brush again, so I think I'm just going to use a baby wipe and get some of that off. Okay, now I'm going to use my traditional burnt sienna. Pick it up. How many of you use splattering tools? Oh, thank you. I'm doing fine. Thanks, Mary. How many of you use those splattering brushes instead of a toothbrush? And there's, isn't there splattering tools? You know, I could never get the hang of those. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can't get the hang of it. So anyway, so there's some traditional burnt sienna. I'm going to get some of that off my brush. And you can do the back also. Let's just pick up a little bit. I'm going to cover my head with that. So this is the back. I'm just going to add a little bit of to the back, and that way the back looks finished. And I do this with the stands too. I splatter the stands. Everything I've done to the back, I do the exact same to the stands, so that it all looks like it's, you know, one piece, even though you can tell it's not one piece. It does make a difference. I really like the way it looks. Okay. So this is D'Angelo, pretty much what I'm going to do. But you know what? I'm looking at this, and I think I want to add just a little bit more color around the edges. And this is something you just kind of, you know, check as you're doing it. But I think I'm going to add just a little bit of the Vintage Photo ink. Just want to add a little bit extra color around those edges, I think. But I'm doing it, staying more close to the edge. I'm not bringing it in like I did with the frayed burlap. So there. Okay, now the last thing that I have to do with her is, so this is the little heart that goes with her. I base coated it. I base coated this one Rookwood Red. So, and your favorite red, deep burgundy, heritage brick, any of those colors will look great on this little angel. But I want to give it just a little bit of a sanding around this edge. Just going to go around and lightly sand those edges. Like that. Get rid of the dust. And I'm going to take a little bit of my antiquing wax. Close that up. going. Sorry, just get some of these paints put where they're supposed to be. And my antiquing wax. Where in heck is my antiquing wax? Do you know I know it's right in front of my face. I was talking to Roxanne. Oh, here it is. I was talking to Roxanne, and she was doing the same thing as me. Where is it? I know this. Whatever it is right in front of my face. It was. But for some reason, when they're right in front of your face, you can't see them. So I'm just going to use my finger and add a little bit of this antiquing wax. I love this. This is that Simply Chic, it's called, I believe. Country Chic antiquing wax. I mean, I'm probably going to be dead and buried and in the ground 100 years, and there's still going to be antiquing wax left. I think like this was like $25 or something for this little jar, but I tell you, this thing is going to last forever. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the white. And I'm going to splatter this with some white. But I'm also going to grab one of these little snowflakes that we did, and I'm going to splatter it too. So you can use warm white, snow white, to splatter these if you want. Either will do. Okay, and then these just get glued on like this. Now, you can use your glue gun, you can use your wood glue. I am going to try, I've been having trouble with my other one, so I'm going to try my Aleene's. I think I left my other glue upstairs. Anybody ever have trouble with their glue? Oh, it drives me crazy. And do you know that as you get older, yeah, just toothbrush, yeah. Hi, Nancy. Oh, who's going in craft fairs? And Deanna, you're going away. Remind me again where you're going. I know you're going on a holiday. Why can I not? Oh, this thing's driving me a little crazy. Hold on a sec. See if I can get this to work. I'm having trouble with getting the lid off my glue. Oh, the lid to my glue is glued on. What in heck? Bye, Hecky. Come here. All right. Well, just because I don't feel like fiddle-dicking around with that at the moment, I'm just going to use my glue gun and glue this on. When I'm using wood on wood, and I will normally just use my my wood glue though. But today, I'm using this because I don't feel like fiddle-dicking too much. I'm going to stick that on there like that. Now, I'm going to splatter this before we do the little doodads. So I'm going to splatter this, and this is with my Galaxy glitter, and this way it'll dry before we add all our little doodads. Because I'm going to add the doodads at the end. So I'm just going to use a denture, oh, not that one, a denture brush. Here, just going to use a denture brush to spray on the Galaxy glitter, splatter on the Galaxy glitter. And I glued these on first because I'm going to splatter these too. And you can use as much or as little as you want. And this is the Champagne Stardust, my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to just put this aside. We're going to just paint each one up and distress each one. And then we're just going to come and add the doodads and the hair. I'm just going to get a new one of these. Keep this as clean as I can. And we're going to do this one next. This one is Vintage Mustard. So the green one is just over there waiting for us to finish it. We're going to Mexico. That's it. Now, did you say your son was going and his girlfriend? Hi, Catherine. Okay, so this is Vintage Mustard. There isn't really a color exactly like this. But if you're using Deco Art, you don't have vintage mustard. It kind of depends on how dark or how light you want this. You can use True Ochre. It's darker, so you can lighten it up with a lighter yellow, you know, with like a yellow ochre or whatever. Just, you know, just lighten it up a little bit. Or even maybe add a little touch of you know, warm white to it just to lighten it up. Or you can leave it darker, you know, or you can go much lighter, go to yellow ochre or one of the softer yellows. It's completely up to you what color you want. Again, use what you're happy with. You know, if you don't have the vintage mustard, I would just try it on a little piece of spare wood and see which color you like more. Okay, so I'm going to use, okay, this is my Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. And we're going to, this is what we're going to use our scroll. I'm just going to just make sure that I got the yellow or the antique linen off of it. Or sorry, the frayed burlap from the other one. Okay. I'm going to just put that on here just to dry it. I just want to make sure that it's dry. Okay. And I'm going to, so this is the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. I thought they were coming. See, I do listen. I remember some things. Other things, forget it. I tell you, it's a crazy thing what stress does to you, right? Stress and old age. I've got two things going against me. Stress and old age. So I'm using the same scroll stamp, but I'm using the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. If you don't have this, try raw sienna or you know, just a softer, soft color like that. I like using kind of the rusty. I like the rustiness of raw sienna to go with this. But again, it depends on what yellow you're using too. Okay, so again, I used the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. Just gonna dry this. Again, we're just gonna give it a light sanding. So I'm just gonna take this, lightly sand all around those edges. My son and his partner went to, for their baby, one of their baby appointments yesterday. They sent me 2 videos of her having the ultrasound with the baby's heartbeat. Oh, it's so cute. My son's going to be a great dad. And Emily, of course, is going to be a great mom. I'm just going to brush this off. Get rid of the dust. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Then I'm going to take, this is the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. So I want to use it. And I'm just going to go around this with the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. And I like to just, again, start softly with it. Because you can always come back and press a little harder or add some. I just don't like it to be too dark. This is just the back. I'm going to add a little bit to it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the Distress Ink Vintage Photo and just darken a little, some of these edges, just along the edge a little bit. Just here and there along these edges. And this is the ink. The inks are darker than the oxides. And unless till this really dries good, both the ink and the oxide, if you get them wet, the inks will lift. Unless you use the archival ink. Archival ink will not lift with water, but these will. Because they are not archival inks. Okay, so now I splattered this, and I splattered the wings with the white again. Maybe a little bit more water to that. For pickup, so I'm just doing these wings with the white. Try it off. I'm in a craft fair the weekend of week back. Oh yeah, so you're trying to get everything done. Yeah, good luck. Like my sister, she's just absolutely going nutsy right now trying to get everything done. Okay, so, and I splattered this again with the traditional burnt sienna. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of it. Just splatter it. And I'm going to do both the front and the back. Let me just dry these off so I can turn it back over. Now I did not splatter this one with the Champagne Stardust. I just noticed I did not do that. I don't think I'm going to. Did I do all of them? No, I didn't do all of them. It's your choice. If you want to splatter it, go ahead. If you don't worry about it. But I did splatter this little heart with the Champagne Stardust. This one? Yeah, I'll use this one. So let's do that. Then we can just put these all together soon. Now, if you want, you can splatter the wings also with the gold. I'm not going to, but you can. So I'm going to just dry this off. But I like it with the bigger star. So everybody will get the bigger star. I still think I have a whole bunch of them. But exactly where, I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, now I'm going to add, whoops, so they have holes in them, and I will be giving you this. I just took a little piece of the burlap that I like to use, the burlap string that I pull from the burlap. So what are you working on right now? You'll find out to cut you the new ones. Hello, guess who is out cutting hostas back and about? Pat. What are hostas? Oh, they're things, flowers or something? You will find them after, we'll find what? You will find them after Deb cuts you the new ones. Somebody asking about something? Find what, Deanna? Find what, Deanna? Okay, now I always like to fray these a little bit. Like that. And again, the stars. Oh, I will find them. Oh, I get it. Ah, see, I tell you, a little bit slow on the uptake, ladies. I think I'm just going to go around these edges a little bit with my sander. Kind of want this star. Probably could do this before you spray it. It's going to go here. Now again, I'm going to have to use my glue gun because I'm not happy with. But see the difference in the sizes, ladies? This size just looks so much better, right? But I think I'm going to add a little bit of white to it. Too. Yeah, there. So you will be getting the larger size stars. I like the larger size stars better. Okay, and I'm just going to put that one to the side. Now we're going to do the red. So I'm going to take the red one. Let's just turn this over. I'm going to use the same stencil. This time, however, I am going to go back and use my antique linen. Again, I'm just going to take off this, what I used before on this stamp. See, that's what I mean. I have no mind left. Should have picked up on that, but I didn't. I love this stamp from the scroll, from the grunge stamp set. It's just so delicate, and it works in so many places, right? So there it is. So again, I use the antique linen for this one. So you're just going to want to use something really light if you don't have antique linen. Now I'm just going to go around the edges again with my sander all around. Maybe this is why I'm sneezing all the time. Maybe that is why. Okay, let's get that off. Put that up there. That down there. Now you'll see on this one, I did some little snowflakes. It's up to you. You can add them if you want. If you don't want to add them, you don't have to. I'm just going to grab them. These are from Chris's Painter Pal stencils. This one, I love this stencil. Anyway, so I use this, and I'm just going to use a little. You can use warm white, snow white. Use your favorite white ladies. A little blush. I'm just going to use this mostly because it is, as you can see, rounded, domed at the top, and these are very little. So I'm just going to use one of these brushes. And I'm just going to add a few of these little snowflakes here and there, willy-nilly around the place. And you don't need too many. I'm only adding a few. A little bit more. There. I just wanted to add a few. I just thought it looked nice. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to splatter this with the white. To cover up this head a little bit. I think I'll get it a little damper so that I can have some bigger splatters on it. And I'm going to splatter the wings also. And I'm going to dry this off because I'm going to turn it over and do it on the other side. They're really very easy to do. They're very, just kind of sweet looking, I thought. I'm just going to dry the back off. The red I used on this is Tuscan Red. It's, again, a folk art color. Now this one just has a snowflake. So I used a rusty snowflake. This one is splattered, so I'm going to pick up the white and I'm going to splatter it. Dry it. And I actually dipped this in just a little bit of the champagne stardust. Do you guys ever get, so I'm just going to pick up actually a little bit on my finger and dab it on. Every time I turn my neck, it's like crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. I'm going, oh my God, how old am I that my whole neck is crinkling when I move it? Okay, I'm going to just glue that on here, ladies. And again, we'll be adding the other doodads later. And again, so that was Tuscan Red. Sorry, so this is the blue. This is called Nantucket Blue, and it's also one of the folk art chalks. Now, Deb and I looked. We really couldn't find a color that was close to this in Deco Art. We thought maybe Williamsburg Blue. However, if you don't have one, I would go probably completely different. This is just me. And I would probably either do Blue Mist or Winter Blue. You can use either of those, and I think they would look just as beautiful. Okay, okay, the blue. So first thing again I'm going to do is take my scroll, and we're using the antique linen again. Doesn't it just add such a pretty design to these dresses? Just makes that background pop a little bit, right? Instead of just being plain. Let's do the front and back in it. And you can see I'm just randomly pressing it on. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Fill in some of these spots. Okay, gonna just dry that off. Everybody who else is going in craft fairs this year? Anybody else going in a craft fair this year? Okay, now I'm just going to again sand all these edges. I've been doing most of my things upstairs in my dining room right now because I don't like to kind of leave my husband upstairs alone too much. So I've been doing most of my work in the dining room. But I tell you, I'm an anal person. I really am. And I don't like a mess. So every day I'm like, I do all this stuff. I'm packing kits up there right now, which really does make just like the biggest mess. So I'm cleaning up everything each evening before I go to bed, because I always feel, because I'm anal, that what if I don't want there to be a fire or an emergency during the night and someone come in, an emergency person, and go, wow, she doesn't keep her house very tidy. I know no one would ever do that, but this is just how my mind works, right? Isn't that just the stupidest thing? I tell you, ladies. Now this is just the white again that I'm splattering with. And I'm going to do both sides. Does anybody else do that? Don't want it a mess just in case there's an emergency and someone has to come into your house during the middle of the night. Crazy, right? Sometimes it's really hard to be me. Really stressful being me. Thank you, Dorinda does too. Yes, Catherine, I know. Thanks, Rosemary. Yeah, so I don't know why I do these things, but I do, ladies. Okay, so now there's a little button, rusty button, and a little rusty snowflake. I'm just gonna splatter these with a little bit of the white and glue them on. And again, I normally would use my wood glue, but apparently the lid's glued on and I can't get it off. Be something I'll have to look at when we are finished here. Okay, and then I splattered the whole thing with champagne stardust. Oh, I'm just going to pick up some of that, and I'm going to splatter. And you see, notice I put the button and the star on before I splattered because I wanted to make sure that I got some of the glitter on them too. I think I'm going to use my finger and just add a little bit more. There. Okay. So that one's done. And in case you're wondering, no, I don't, I haven't been splattering the backs with the Champagne Stardust. I've been doing the fronts, but I have not been doing the backs. I've just been splattering them with the white or the traditional burnt sienna, whatever color is the main splatter, just so you know. Okay, so these are all done. So now we can just decorate them. Okay, so we're going to start off with our green. We'll let these things dry a bit. I'm going to start off with my green so you can see. I just have a little bit of cheesecloth, the little burlap string, and the bow. So this is what your packages are going to come like. So they'll each be labeled. This one says oatmeal, which means that it goes with this one. Keep trying to improve my packaging all the time. Okay, so this one's oatmeal. So you'll get a thing of cheesecloth like this. And of course, this is like quite big. So I'm going to take it. I'm just going to make a bow with it. Like this. Kind of see how big I want the loopies. That's a little bit too big. Would be a little bit too big. Just a little bit smaller. Sorry, I just want to make sure I get my loopies right. And when you do yours, just do as I'm doing. Take it, kind of scrunch it up, and then put it on and see, is that about right? Yep. So I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to use a little piece of this string. Just a little end to it. Just going to cut off a little bit on the end. And just tie it in the middle. So I just made a loop on either side. That's all I did on this one. Just going to cut these off. Now I splat. There. I can't believe she hasn't been on looking to see what I'm doing today. Sure, I told her I was doing a class today. Okay. So this is the bow. And I'm going to put it here, and then I'll probably pull it and fiddle with it. You know, I like to do that. However, I'm going to splatter it with my Champagne Stardust before I glue it on. So let me just grab my Champagne Stardust. I like these little things, these little pieces splattered with the Champagne Stardust. It just adds more to them, right? Let's just pick up some. I'm going to splatter it. Cut off my fingers. And I'm going to dry this just so I don't get it all over me and it doesn't get sticky everywhere. So again, that's the Champagne Stardust, just a little bit of sticky on there. Gonna glue that just under here. And then I wanted to take a little piece of this. So this is, you'll have a piece of fabric that looks like this. And all I literally did was make a bow like this. Just pull the sides till they were as big as I wanted them. And I'm going to put them in here. Now, I did, when I put them in, I did make some of these strips a little wider. I just would rather give you more than you need than not as much. So if you find that it's too wide, like you want it a little thinner, just take it and cut it down. But again, I'd rather give you too much than too little. So that's going to go there. Oh, wrong one. Oh, what am I doing? I was looking at the wrong one. This is actually going to be for the red one. Sorry. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. Anyway, sorry, that is not the bow that goes with this. This is the bow that goes with this. Sorry. Oh gosh, I tell you. And all I did for this was just made some loops like this. Sorry. Oh, Lord love a duck. Tell you. Crazy. Crazy. I'm sorry, ladies. Oh, my mind. My mind is gone. Okay. This one just has this on it. Make sure I'm doing it right. There. Just like that. You'll always end up like I give you guys lots. You'll have more than enough to finish. Now the hair, so I just kind of wrap these around my finger like this and put it in the little thing. So just take it out. Take your finger. And these are really fine. So see how they straighten out so nicely? There. So it's all straightened out. So just take it and straighten out. Don't look at it and go, oh no, it's all wrapped up. It's fine. They just straighten right out. These are great. Okay, so you can do hair 2 different ways, okay? I did 2 different ones, and again, you can do them either way. You can take these and individually do them. You can take it, run it through like that, and then just twist. Just go around and do that in each one. This is the more complicated way to do it because I like to do things that are complicated. I just thought it would be nice if the hairs looked a little different on each one. So I will show you the two different ways you can do the hair. There. And then I took a ball stylus. Does that? I have a million ball styluses. So, and I just took a ball stylus. I twisted these hairs. This is the longer version on what to do. And then after I did this, the first one, I thought, oh my gosh, this takes forever if you're doing a whole bunch of them. So I went and I did some of the other angels the other way. I just twisted these all around. That's fun. Just twist each one around the ball stylus. Looks like she has curly hair, curls in her hair. Something you can do that I did not do on the angels' faces is you can add little freckles if you want. I was just looking at these thinking, maybe I should add freckles. But that is something that you can do, is add freckles to them if you like. How many of you have the patience to sit and do that? Okay. And then I just kind of push them down a little bit in place like that. And then I gave everybody, if I can find it. And I just took everything out. I want to make sure I gave everybody, oh, here we are, a little bow like this. I actually made the bow for you so that it would be easier. And all it is just the fabric, and it's just kind of tied a knot in the middle, and then I glued it onto here. So I'm going to do that. Let's find one of the hairs. Ouch. Now, make sure you cut it. You can see how this is way too big. Just cut it. And then you'll get a little button for the middle. So that is one of the ways that you can do the hair. Just want to cut. Some of that away. So this is the green one. Now, you can either hang it like I did here, or you can put the stand on. Now, I did not do the stands and paint them. I didn't have them ready. So I think I'll come on a little bit later and just show you guys how to do the stands. But they really are just, they're just painted exactly the same way and glued on. But I will show you how to do that. I actually have a stand down here. Just let me check something. Oh, I do. Okay. I'm going to do one of the stands for you just so you can see. Okay, so I'll do the green one since it's the one we're doing. This is the oatmeal. So I just took the oatmeal, put it on. So all the stands are done the exact same way. So I painted the front side of this flat piece because the back is going to be painted, is going to be glued on, so you don't have to. And I did both sides of this one. And you'll do all the stands this same way. I'm going to dry these off. And I'm just going to show you something. Oops. So you can see how on here, I got it on the sides. I kind of want a clean edge. I want the burnt edges to show. So I'm just going to take, this is a baby wipe. And I'm just going to go around the edges with it. And it actually removes just about all the paint. Make sure you do this before you put any of the distress ink on, because otherwise you'll remove the ink too. And I'm going to do the same thing on here. Just so I have a nice clean kind of edge. But you can see how it takes that excess paint that got on the side there. And then I'll have a nice clean edge. Hi, Claudia. Do you have the patience, Dorinda? I did catch them. I tell you, Dorinda, I don't know. My mind, just a puddle. Okay. So I did that, and then I took the scroll stamp that I used, and the same color that I used on the angel's background is what I'm going to use on this. So on the green one, I used frayed burlap. So I'm just going to stamp over it with the frayed burlap, and same as on here. Again, just because we want this to be matchy-matchy. Now I'm going to splatter this the same as I did the front. So I'm going to just pick up a little bit of the white. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of the traditional burnt sienna. So exactly how you did the front, or exactly how you did the back. So you can see the back of this is splattered with the white and then the traditional burnt sienna. So I'm going to do these exactly the same. The only difference is that I did not put any of this champagne stardust glitter on the back, so I'm not going to add it to the stand. Oh. So again, this is a traditional burnt sienna, and I'm just going to put a little bit of it on here, and then we'll just dry it off. So just do the stands exactly as you've done the back, just so it blends in nice. I think it looks good. And I'm sitting here going, I want to glue these on, but my dang lid won't come off. So I'm going to use my glue gun to show you how to do this. But use your wood glue, okay? It'll just work so much better. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my glue gun. Put it on, make sure it's situated in the middle. Put it nice and flat along the bottom. And then I'm just going to do a little, just going to run a little bit of glue along here and stick it in. And then you can see how it just blends in so much nicer instead of just leaving it plain. So again, just do all the stands exactly as you've base coated or finished the back off. So there's our first one. Now we're going to go into the vintage mustard one, which is this one. So we've already got this done. So now the bow. Okay, this is the mustard one. And I did the same thing. I just made a nice little bow. You can use your bow dabra if you like. I didn't find it was necessary to. I think I did 4 loops on this, but I find that this is a little bit too wide, the fabric that I gave you. So I am going to cut it down a little bit. So I'm just cutting it down a little bit. Again, I'd rather give you too much than not enough. So as long as you know just to cut things to size, you'll be fine. Okay, so now you can do 2 things. I mean, really, you can use your bow dabra if you want. We're just going to make a little tiny bow, but I want 4 loops on this one. So my sister and Deb are getting ready for their craft fairs. I'm not able to go in it this year. So they're getting everything done. And they hate, I don't know what it is, bows. They're intimidated by them or whatever. They do not like to do them. So they're saving them for the very last. The very last thing. Now I'm just going to take this off like that and tie it. I could have put a string down, but it's just so little that I wasn't too worried about that. Just tying it in the middle. And then this one is going to go right here, but I will kind of adjust these bows a little bit. And you can do it by pulling on them. I think some of these are just a little tad too big. So I'm just going to make these loops a little tinier. And then I'm cutting them because I don't want these ends to be any longer than the loops. I'm doing that. And I'm just going to glue this on. Like that. And then y'all got a little piece of cheesecloth again. Just going to take it. I'm going to cut it about maybe 2 inches. And I'm going to just gather it in the middle. 2 inches is going to be too big, but that's okay. We'll just adjust it. Just cut some of it away later. Going to tie it in the middle. We're just adding a little bit of cheesecloth to this. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to glue it down just in the middle of this bow. And then I'll just cut it to size. You can see it's way too big. I just want to cut it a little bit smaller. And then what I did, you don't have to do this, but what I did was I took my vintage photo. This is my oxide and my brush. And just put a piece of paper towel if you want under it, but I brushed a little bit of this on. Just kind of dirty this cheesecloth up even more. Like that. And then for the hair, whoops. Again, just take it, run your fingers along it. And straighten it out a little bit. Now this one I did different. I just looped it. So through the end. And then I just brought this around and made like a coil. I did coil hair on the rest of them. So I just, oops, coiled into the holes. Ah! And grab it there. Now you can make these coils as big or as small as you want. You guys all getting your irrigation blown out down in the States? Or do you get your irrigation blown out? I guess it depends on where you live and if you have underground sprinklers. We live in like so hot here. It's like a desert here, right? So everybody has underground irrigation. Okay, so I just made a little coil. Gonna cut it. Oopsies, go over there. Then I just took the ball stylus and did little curls on the end of these ones. And then I took a little bit of the cheesecloth that I had left over. And honestly, I just tied it onto one of the coils. Made a little tie again in the middle. Just made a knot in the middle. Like this. And pulled it apart so I could see exactly how big it was. I'm going to glue it on. And then just cut it down to size. I like to cut it down to size after I've glued it on. And you can just see better, right? And then I have these little teeny tiny buttons. See how little these are? You will not believe how expensive these things are, I tell you. Okay. I'm not doing the stand for this one. I've showed you how to do it. I'm not going to do it on each one. I think I'm going to use these as hanging ones. So there is our vintage vintage mustard little girl. Now we're going to do the red. So the red, that's the one that I made this bow on for us. Did that already. Okay, so this one, I just did the bow again using the cheesecloth. So just again, just see how big you want it. That's definitely big enough. And then I just want to tie it with a piece of string in the middle again. Come here, you. And you can, of course, embellish these any way you want. You don't have to do them. I mean, you'll get the kit from me that has everything, but you can change things up, right? So it's going to go here. I think I might take, this is that vintage, the vintage photo that I did the other one. I think I'm going to add a little bit onto this one too. Dirty it up just a little bit. And then this is the bow we made. We're going to use on this one. Remember, if you find any of the fabric is too wide or too long or whatever, just cut it. Like I do try and give you guys a lot, so you will probably have too much a lot of the time. And again, I'm just coiled this hair. Where is everybody? You should look here and see how everybody's doing. Are these stands available on your website? You can. You know what? I haven't put them on the website. People have just been sending me private messages asking for them, and I'm just including them with their orders. So if you want them, yeah, just send me a little old message and I'll include them in your order. trying to remember how much they were. I can't remember. Does anybody remember how much they were? I know I told some people. Not everybody asked. A lot of people just ordered them. They're $10 a stand. Can't remember. Did I say 25 or 50 cents? Does anybody remember how much I did? Does anybody remember? I have to look. They're either 25 or 50 cents. I can't remember. A stand. So again, I just coiled this. The hair. And you can do either. If you want to, if you sit and do all the little curly cues. The curly cues does look really cute. But I did this. I think I'm going to hang these ones because I already have a bunch of the standing ones. So I think I'm going to put my extra things, all these little things that I've done in the craft fair, Deb's craft fair. She said I could put some things in. So I'm going to put all these in. Doing the dang hair is the finickiest part. Oops, twisted it. Will it go through the hole? Ah. See what I did? Look at, I got a little twisty in it. I can straighten the twisty out so it'll go through the hole there. Okay, and cut this. And I do like to kind of twist these ends. Give them a little curl. It's not a very good curl. It's not a good curl. Anybody been watching the scary movies on television? 50 cents. I can remember. Thank you, Claudia and Keiko. The stands are 50 cents each. Cut off this little thing there. And then again, I'm going to take a little bit of the extra cheesecloth. Open this up. Now I think I'm going to put this vintage photo on here too. So I'm going to just do it ahead of time. Just dirty this up a little bit more. To glue this on. Come down here. I'll cut this a little bit. And that's a red one. So you can either put a stand on the back or you can hang it with, like I did with this one. And all I did was take a piece of the burlap string, make a loop, tie it in the bottom, and just glue it onto the back. So that's the red one. Now we're just going to finish off the blue one. You see, again, it's all labeled for you. Put this little button here. Where's that red one? You know what? This red one, I actually put, whoops, a little button on it. Right in the middle of the bow here. So let's do that. Just going to splatter it a little bit with that, and then a little bit of the Champagne Stardust on it. And that's completely your choice too. Some people don't have it or don't like to put the glitter on. I just thought it looked good with a little bit of the glitter. Okay, so the blue one, same thing. This is it here. So I did, you all got cheesecloth, so I just took the cheesecloth, tie it in half. Oop, come here, you. I'm just going to put that there while I grab a little piece. Where in heck? Where in by hecky? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Where? I tidied this up. I'm just looking for a little piece of raffia. So when I go, where did I put my raffia? Where did I put my raffia? Is it? No. Is that it? No. It's probably also right in front of my face and I can't see it, so I'll have to get another one. I think I got bags of this stuff around, isn't it? So everybody will get a little piece of raffia. And you know me, I like to sit there and make these really tiny. So I just pull them apart with my fingernails. And I'm slowly running out of here. I like to make them quite thin. They just work so much nicer if you do this. They're fluffier and they just look better, I think, than if you just leave them as one solid piece. So I'm just going to take this, make a bow out of it. So make a loop. And try and figure out how big you want the loop. Like that, maybe. I think I'll do it a couple of times like that. And I'm just going to cut the edges off a bit. And then take a piece of the raffia and we'll just wrap it around in the middle so I can tie it. So just knot it in the middle. And then we're going to glue it on. Like that. And then you'll have to trim these little pieces. Something you can do, which I actually will show you another day, is, have you ever taken your curling iron and curled the raffia? So flipping cute, ladies. You have to try it. Okay, then I took a little piece of this cheesecloth again, tied a little knot in the middle of it. And I also glued it down. And then I'm just going to cut it to size. I didn't want it too big. Never worry if you cut it too short, because I always pull on them anyway. Separate all these little threads. Like that. And then this is the bow. Now this, you can see how wide this is. This is definitely too wide. So I'm going to just cut it in half. And you can do this too. Again, I'd rather give you too much than not enough. So just cut it in the middle. And keep the other one because you never know when you might want it in a project. And then I'm just going to make a loop and do a bow like this. Just a simple bow like we did on the red one. Pull this a little bit more. See how big you want your loops. Pull them to that, pull the ends to that size. Glue them on. And then you can adjust and cut these. So when I cut them, I like to take where I've cut them at the bottom and just kind of pull them, fray them. And then the hair is the same thing. You can do either, the coil, or you can cut them into little individual pieces. I'm just doing the coil again. But you can cut them, do each one individually, and wrap them around a ball stylus. I think I'm going to do this one a little bit more. You can also double them, double do. Putting two, I'm going to trying this. Ooh, my ears are ringing. Does that mean someone's talking about me, or does that mean, hi Rhonda, for a wedding. Oh, just a sec. Feel better. What comes with the kit? Oh, yeah, Dorinda, the stands all do come in the kit. But see how I'm kind of doubling these? I'm kind of making these a little bit more. I'm just seeing if I have enough with one. So I'm putting them in the holes twice. Just to make it a little fuller. And then you'll have just fuller coils. I just want to make sure that there is enough. One of these is enough, and it is going to be enough. So this way you have fuller coils. So you can see I've already put it in the hole once. I'm going to take the end and go back through it. And that's just going to make a fuller hair. This little angel's been using Rogaine. There. I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller. Ouch, smaller. just do these ends. Under, and then just kind of play with the hair a little bit. And then again, I gave you a little bow like this that I already tied in the middle. So just take it, add a little bit of glue, stick it on. And this is again going to be too big. So we're going to cut it to size. Then I'm just going to open this up a little bit, and I'm going to rip and fray these edges. Always rip and fray the edges. And then you got a little blue button. And I glued it on. So I'm just going to show you before we go. So I just took a little piece of the, jute string. Figured out how high I wanted, how long I wanted this. Made a knot in it. I'm going to just cut that off. And then I'm just going to glue this on the back. This will be my hangy upper. My hangy upper. Now you can take a little piece of this fabric. There's always fabric left over with everything, if you want. Just to secure this even more. Put a little bit of glue down. And then this little piece of this little string will never come off. And that's just how you can hang it. Like that. And then you'll have an ornament. That's it, ladies. That's all of them. And yes, they come with all the stands. So you don't have to worry about it. If you want extra stands, you can send me a message. I'm not sure how many extra stands I'm going to have. But you can send me a message. Oops. There, I'm back. Okay. All right. Yeah, so these are the angels. Again, you can see you can either have them hanging or with the stand. They come, so you'll get all four of the angels. Everything to make all four of the angels. The only thing I'm not including is the jute if you want to hang your own. Everybody has some jute string. Thanks, Dorinda. I've just about finished the instructions, so I'll get them up right away. I'm going to be doing our gingerbread next week. I will be putting all the instructions up for it along with line drawing or the stenciling of these. Because a lot of people won't have the stencil for it, but this way you can at least get it really close to what I have. There's only a few of these new 3 kits left. When they're gone, I'm not restocking until after these are done. So if you want this included in your order, I would make sure you order today. Otherwise, you probably won't get it. You won't get it in this order because I'm cutting it off after this one. Yes, the instruction for the angels, Dorinda, are going up. Yep, I'm almost finished them, but I didn't want to be late for the class. So I'm almost finished them. I will put them up probably within about half an hour. I just want to make sure that they're done properly. If you have any questions, let me know. Claudia, I got you. Don't worry. I have you looked after. I think that's it, ladies. Thank you, everybody. Rhonda, have a great time at your wedding. Oops. Oh, I'm just looking at, okay. Thanks, everybody. I miss you all. Remember, next week I'm going to try and come on and have a little Zoom time, okay? I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.